Hello, my name is Jeremy Whitt, and this is the Impartation Series.
Hello, my name is Dawn, and I'm the mother of Ashanti Nicole Davis. Ashanti was a special child from the beginning. My other kids were born as C-sections. Ashanti was born on Mother's Day. She was a regular birth. Just like any child, she came out with the hollering and screaming. Nothing was wrong with her. They did tell me she was special needs, maybe 13 days or so before she was born. When Ashanti came out, if you were there to see her, she looked like a little Chinese baby. Nothing was wrong with her. It took maybe a month or so till the doctors realized that something was going on with her. During that time, we went and had a few tests ran and found out that something inside of her, I'm not going to say the lungs right now, but something wasn't quite developed. And when she breathed, her chest basically caved in where you could set a cup in her chest. We went from that running tests to we found out that she had what they call tracheomalacia. Tracheomalacia is when she needed a trach. A trach is when a hole is put into your neck. From the age of 1 to the age of 4 years old, Ashanti lived with a trach. We lived with different people, nurses, family, friends, the help of everybody coming along, teaching us how to, prepare for this. Everywhere we went, we had to carry oxygen machines. She could be in the back seat just like any other child, going down the street, and all of a sudden, Mama, and here she is handing you the tray. We pulling over, got to do cardiac arrest, but she's sitting here, Mama, like ain't nothing wrong. Ashanti was that type of child from the beginning. She always laughed. She always smiled. She learned to walk. She went to the regular school. She wasn't in really special classes. During school, Ashanti participated in cheerleading, the dance team at Lossville School. In church, she was involved in mime ministry, the choir. As time progressed, Ashanti got involved. I think when she got to about the 5th or 6th grade, she was involved with Special Olympics, where she's won many awards, certificates from that. Her and her Special Olympic team went to South Carolina, I think it was. It might be another town. I can't go that far back. But they came first in the nationals of Special Olympics. We have all the rewards at home from that. It was just nothing that she couldn't do. We never talked about Down syndrome. We never stopped her from doing anything she wanted to do. Put her mind to it, she did.
In 2013, in the month of December, Ashanti got sick and she was hospitalized, and we didn't know what the cause of it was, but during this time while we was in the hospital for those days, our family and friends started to fall in to comfort us and pray with us. And during this time, they just kept chanting, Team Ashanti, and after the ordeal with the hospital was over, we lost Ashanti, and our family and friends, they wanted to keep the momentum going with this Team Ashanti thing, and we took it to the streets, and whatever little thing that we could do to help our community or give back to our community, we did it in the name of Team Ashanti, to keep her name alive, and also, to comfort us at the same time, and help us get over what we was going through.
We were in the hospital during the holiday time, Christmas time, leading into New Year's Day, when we found out that an infection got into Ashanti's body, an infection that gets into your body through a virus. And at the same time, Ashanti was going through what we thought was her basic bronchitis, asthma ordeals. But once they did a CAT scan on her, come to find out something was eating the white matter of her brain. They needed to do an MRI. Yes, have an MRI done to really focus to see what we were dealing with. While they also were doing the MRI, they were going to go in and do a spinal tap at the same time. This procedure, we were told, would take 2 hours. Ended up being over 6 hours with no one telling us anything. We pacing back and forth trying to figure out what's going on with our baby. And once they came up, it was like, looking back today, yeah, she was crying, but looking back today and not comparing her to other people in life, but the different ways that we leave this earth. To me, looking back at that time now, was like Shanti may be in what they would call a coma state, because from the time they put her back in ICU from having her MRI and spinal tap, I personally never saw her eyes open again. I mean, they told us she was having seizures. I did see tears drop from her eyes. It was like we actually just sat there and just saw her just deteriorating in front of us. Me as a mom, I've always dealt with Brunner Children's Hospital. I asked to be transported to there, which they told us that we had to wait until Shanti got stable. But what me as a mom called stable, and the doctors at the time, stable to them was, it got to the point they had to put Ashanti on a ventilator. Once they put her on the ventilator, then they transported her to Brunner's Hospital. Once we got to Brunner's Hospital, family, friends, everybody just started coming to the visitor room, waiting with us, trying to find out what is the outcome, what's going on. We felt Shanti was stable, like she was asleep. We had been at the hospital for days at a time, and they told us that, you know, she was okay, she was resting. So at that time, we decided, well, we're gonna go home and take a shower and come back. Once we got home, we got a phone call that said we need to hurry up and get back to the hospital, that Ashanti had a stroke. From the time we left Ashanti to the time we got back, no matter how fast you would drive, blinking lights on, 45 minutes takes forever. When we got back, I could tell, I just hit the floor because I could tell my baby was gone. From that point on, it was like, in the beginning of this conversation I'm having with you, they already told us something was eating the white matter of her brain. But her having that stroke took away the rest of her brain. So we were in our last days, like going into New Year's Eve, into New Year's Day. But we had to actually still sit there, because a brain death, they have to do many different tests to really confirm that she's brain dead. We had to actually sit there and watch them, say for instance, take a piece of ice and rub it on her ear. And it took like 3 or 4 doctors. Everybody's eyes had to look to make sure, did they see any part of her body move? Because they didn't want to make a mistake. We went through watching them do your reflexes. They actually took a piece of Q-tip and ran across her face, or looked at her eyes with special lights. Anything to see was there any kind of movement. And after they all did that, all of those tests were ran, they said we still have one more test we can do, which they did an x-ray. They did an x-ray, and the x-ray came back. The doctors showing Jeremy and I the x-ray, and also during this time, it wasn't just Jeremy and I. We were open to, it was almost 100 or more people in the waiting room, family and friends. Anything the doctors told us, we shared with everybody else in the waiting room. So when they showed us this x-ray, you can actually see where blood was in her body, moving around, going up to about right here at your eyebrow point. and from your eyebrow point up, it was just black. It was nothing there. So that was another way of saying there was no existence in the brain. She was confirmed brain dead, but still they had to do another test. So by us being in Winston, they had to wait for a special dye or something to come from Greensboro, and they had to shoot it through her body. I think that's when we saw the x-ray. But they had to do that before they could really confirm her brain death. New Year's Day 2014, everybody was in the waiting room still. Yay, Team Ashanti, Team Ashanti, she made it. We've made it into 2014. She wasn't going yet because they still hadn't confirmed it. Even though we've sat here almost 2 days going through different tests, she was still here. But after that last exam, they called us in a room, and I want to say it was maybe 1:30 a.m. 2014. We still prayed, we cried together, we were together as a team, driving down the highway. Everybody was just coming up with, let's get t-shirts made, let's do this, let's do Team Ashanti, Team Ashanti. For me, Team Ashanti, my thing is, Mom, I pray for peace. Just give me peace right now. I don't want to holler, I don't want to cry, I just need peace in my heart. And the Team Ashanti just took off like, yes, nobody wants to see your name or you fade away. And it was just something that we did. We did canned food drives. We, at the salon, we did Thanksgiving dinners to homeless people. And we can't say who is homeless, but we cooked food as a group and passed it out to anybody that came into the salon, because no, we're not going to turn you down because we're no better than you. But our intentions were for those that couldn't provide for themselves home cooked meals. We've done collaborations with other groups over the years, S&K Preemies, Last Dons, Bestie Berries, Sharita Paylor's group, Bunny's Berries. I think it's about 5 of us that collaborated together within the past year and have just tried to keep our loved ones going. And out of this, I can say as of right now, I haven't been able to get out and be associated as much as I wanted to because I'm going through illnesses myself, but at the same time, we still show love for each other, and when we can, we're all there for each other as a group. We've dropped off canned foods at the Red Cross for the Kings of Royalty. It's many things that we've done. We've done them as a group, and we've done them individual. It's scholarships been passed out. It's just different things been passed out. I mean, it's just so much going on to name. And me, as of right now, I am an ambassador for Donate Life. As you all know, or some of you may not know, Jeremy and I came to the decision of letting Ashanti be an organ donor. Ashanti had 2 recipients of her kidneys, and someone has the cornea of her eyes. Me as a mom, I kept writing. You have to go through a third party. We kept writing letters because a lady wrote a letter to me. We couldn't say our name or anything, but she was one of the recipients of the kidneys. After a few months passed, we just asked, can we just become friends and not have a third party? Well, I finally one day received a phone call, and the lady's name was Susie Chung, and she was from Chicago, Illinois. Susie and her sister Sonia Chung were able to make their way to Reedsville, North Carolina to visit us on last May. Upon visiting us, the first thing Susie wanted to do, when I met her, after everybody hugs and kisses, she says, you can rub your baby if you want to. You can touch her kidney. So yeah, that was a touching moment. I got to touch my baby's kidney, and she wanted to visit the cemetery. So we went to the cemetery, and Susie had her own service for her Ashanti right there, because she felt she hate to have to meet this way, but she's thankful that she does have a kidney. And she cried and she put things out there on the tombstone, just as everyone else has. But just this past November, Susie, recipient of one of Ashanti's kidneys, she started getting sick herself. She has a immune blood disease, and she started getting sick, and it got to the point where she had to get on a ventilator. Right before Thanksgiving, we got a phone call that Susie Chung, Ashanti's recipient of her kidney, had passed away also. Even though you give life to somebody else, it's still not promised how long they will live. But by Susie having Ashanti's kidney, she was able to live another 1.5 years. That wasn't promised to her at all. So give the gift of life. It's nothing that's gonna hurt you. It's nothing that's gonna hurt your family. I mean, if anything, it's just gonna bring more joy to you, because you're gonna always feel like, wow, you know, you're gonna continue to smile. Look what she's done. She's still giving and loving and sharing and other gifts and things. And even right now today, Susie's sister Sonia and I are still friends, and we communicate and email. So those of you that can, give the gift of life. It's nothing to be afraid of. We came here, and just as we came here, we can also be taken away. But you can also help someone else. Thanks, and don't forget to donate life and register.